What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a first on this channel, a review of llmind's new released drum kit called the Blap God. He announced it a couple days ago on Twitter along with a contest that I'm happily joining because I could use all the exposure I can get. And we're going to be reviewing the sounds that are in there. We're going to be making a beat with it, and as per the challenge, I will show you around the setup a bit. But yeah, first things first, you can see the link is up here. I will also put it in the description for those of you that want to buy it. And I actually do suggest that if you want to buy it, that you buy it quick, because when I checked out this a couple of days ago, it was 50 bucks. And when I purchased it just now, it was 62. And it here says that only a limited quantity of this kit will be sold, and after I purchased it, it jumped up to 68. So I'm guessing with every purchase that's being made, the price will increase. So if you do want to get this drum kit and join the contest, I suggest you do it sooner rather than later, because it's only going to get more expensive. So let's jump into Logic. Alright, so I'm in Logic now, and I'm about to put together a little loop so you guys can hear what the drum kit sounds like. But we're also going to review all the sounds that are in there before I'm going to put the loop together. One funny thing that I realized just now is that it said there's 100 plus new sounds in this kit, and he wasn't lying. As you can see, there's 102. I know it's marketing, but I found it a funny little detail. Now let's have a little look. So as you can see, here are the sounds. Now they're divided into a few different sections. There's a clap section right here, then comes the hi-hats, the kicks. There are some open hi-hats, then some percussions, shakers, which are part of percussions, a snap, and some snares. Now when I just go quickly through the claps, in my opinion, all of these claps are usable as main claps for a song. So if you can hear them, those are all sounds, in my opinion, that I could use as the main clap of the song. I often layer my sounds, but with these ones, I think they could be used as the main clap, and then I would have something else like a snare or a different kind of clap underneath it to give it a little more of a unique vibe than it already has. Hi-hats for me is always a bit tricky. I just often don't find nice hi-hat sounds in drum kits, and it's just personal preference. Unfortunately, with this one, for me, it's the same. There are some sounds in here that I would not know how to use ever, but that's just me. But like this one, for example, I can use. That I can also use, but then these kinds of hats, I know there's a time and a place, and there's probably going to be a handful of producers that are really happy with these types of sounds, but I just wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know how to incorporate these into my music. Now the kicks are probably where the bread and butter of this drum kit lies, because there are some really nice ones here that really have a big body, a big, huge, round, low end. This one in particularly, it's called the Sustain Monster. You can tell that's going to be the main kick for a lot of beats out there. Now then, there's basic kicks like this. Those are always nice. This one, I would say, again, that will be a main kick. That's probably a layer. So even for kicks, there might be some where I don't initially know what to do with it, like the one that's called Brenneth. But I would imagine as a subtle layer underneath a few kicks already, it has a nice little oomph to it. So it would give you that little oomph that the other kicks might not give you. Open hi-hat speaks for itself. There is one here that has the acoustic vibe to it, and then there's one that these sound a bit more digital, I would say. Vorp, it's one of those. I'm not too sure how I could use this, but I'll probably find a use for it. I probably just won't use it as an open hi-hat, but I think filter it down, add some effects on it, maybe reverse it, chop it up, sidechain gate it to a hi-hat pattern, and you can do some really cool stuff with that. Now the percussions are pretty nice, and I would say every single sound in here is pretty unique by itself. And there's probably like something like this, if you put it into a sampler and tweak it a bit, you can probably do a main melody with this. That's a very nice one for layering underneath a kick and a snare loop. Again, that's just my opinion, but everything in this drum kit that has Gerflu in its name, I just don't know what to do with it. It's just not my type. The shakers are pretty cool. There's not that many. There's only 3. But what I find with most shakers out there is that they're often too harsh, and you have to, you know, apply EQ to them just to not make them hurt your ears. And these ones, they're just very gentle. So that's good. So I don't have to waste any time with it. I can just load them into the session, arrange them how I want to, and I know it's done. Then there is exactly one snap sound, and well, you know, it's a snap. It does what it's supposed to do. No comments right there. Now for the snares, there are a bunch of ones, just like with the kick drums, where I would say you can use these as a main snare, and then there's also a few out there that I would personally rather use as a layer, because I just don't see myself using them as a main snare. But that also is because the type of beats that I do and the style of music that I go for doesn't ask for a snare that has a particular sound. So for example, let's just go through a few. I probably would not use that as a main snare. It could be used for filler notes. That's what I think it would shine at. That one I would use as a layer. Not sure if I would use that one at all. It has too much of a melody to it. There's too much of a musical note to it. And I don't think it will work for what I'm usually making. Now that's one I would use by itself. I think if you have this as a main snare, combined it with a few other sounds, that's a very powerful snare right there. And that rim that's a very nice rim shot. There's no other ways to put it. That's a very nice one. And then just as there was only one snap, there's also only one tambourine sound, and it's just like I said with the shakers. It's not sharp, it's not edgy. So if you put this into your session, just arrange it the way you want to, you're done. You don't have to do any further mixing to it. It just sounds nice. So now I'm going to put a little loop together, and I'm only going to use these sounds. No other sounds are going to be used. So you get a better feeling of what these sounds sound like when they are all together. Now in the next video, where I'm probably going to do a beat making video for the challenge using these sounds, I'm going to layer them with some other stuff. But I guess you will just have to subscribe to be notified when that happens. So let's go to the loop. Alright, so I now have a little pattern together, as you can see right here. All the sounds that I've used are from the kit. I have slightly altered some of the things, and I've added some effects to some of the things just to, I don't know, spice it up the way that I like to do. So this is what the loop sounds like as a whole, and after that I'll break it down so you can see exactly what I did, and I'll explain why I did it. So that's basically the gist of it. Now in the kick drum section, you can see that one of the kicks is faded out quite quickly, and that has a reason. I'll show you. I have it go down that quick because if it goes on for too long, it's going to clash with the bass line that I want to do for this. That's why I'm only doing it for the first quarter of the bar. Now it's layered with 2 other kicks to give it a really solid oomph, so to say. Then there is the clap sounds. I got 2 different claps. There's a reverb on it, as you can see. These are the claps. On this one, on one of them, there is a reverb on them with 2 different types of pre-delays, just to give it a I don't even know how to describe it. You hear the clap, and then afterward there comes the whoosh of the reverb, so to say. So you can clearly hear it. First comes the hit of the clap, and then there's an afterwave, and I think that was a nice touch. Then there is just a filler snare for in between, so if you play the kick and the snare together, just a little ghost note, so to say. Then there are 2 types of shakers. One shaker that's determining the rhythm. That would be this one. Very basic, nothing happening much there. And then there is a shaker that hits on the same notes as the snares, and I have added some effects to this just to give it a little more interesting flavors, because once it does hit together with the claps, you'll hear it's just a little something extra that you might not really notice, but your brain will tell you something else is going on here, and that's why I do things like that. Then there is the hi-hat pattern. It's pretty basic. All I do is copy and paste it, and every time I want to do something like these note repeats that aren't quite on grid, I just shift the grids basically, so that I have the playroom to put them on there. As well as for these faster ones, I just make the grid even smaller, and this is usually the maximum that I'll go to, and that's how you get these very quick snare rolls that you see right here. And then down here, I don't think llmind intended these things to be used like this, but this is how I use like the open hi-hat, crash, ride stuff, because if you tweak them right, you can turn them into some cool transitions. So just listen to it. This is what I did to it. Now that's a cool way to get into a beat if you listen to it from here. In my opinion, those are just very cool things to do, and I like to experiment with plugins like this. It's not even that difficult. There's just the delay on there, and instead of a fade out, I gave it the slow down effect. So if you just take this off for a second and also put this back to 0. So this is the original. And then if you add the fade out to it, you can hear it already changes character. That's quite fun, but it's not long enough to really show you that it's a transition. So that's why there's a delay on there. And now, this is quite a nice transition. Now, all of it together, let's do it one more time. Now, I hope this has somewhat given you an indication of what this drum kit sounds like, and like I said, if you do want to purchase it, be quick, because apparently it's only going to get more expensive as it goes by. Alright, so while editing this down, I realized that the outro part of the recording got messed up, so I'm doing it by itself. Anyway, I would just like to end off this video by saying, if you're a producer and you'd like to collab with me on any kind of project, all my links are in the description down there. Reach out to me, let me know what you want to do, and we'll make it happen. If you're an artist that wants to collab, there's going to be a link to my SoundCloud in the description that will take you to all the beats that I've done in the recent past. There's not that many, but there's a few, and they're all for free download. So go there, grab them all, make some dope ass songs with it, and show me, because I want to hear them. Lastly, if you've enjoyed the video and would like to support the channel, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, like the video, leave any feedback you want in the comment section below. I read and respond to anything. llmind, if you're watching this, great job on the kit. Maybe you and I even want to do a collab if you're willing to, settle for collabing with someone that's not quite on your level yet. Fun fact, me and llmind met once before and we spent a week in the studio. He probably doesn't realize that it's me yet, so I'm going to put a picture somewhere in the screen so he also knows. We spent a week with Ryan Leslie. It's one of the best weeks I've had in my life, in my musical career, definitely. And on that note, I know I've mentioned this before, but I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, just so you're up to date for whenever there's a new video online. And also, the next video is probably going to be the beat making video, where I'm going to use this kit, show you around the setup, and join the contest, because I want to get into the llmind compilations. I'm just trying to boost my channel at the moment, so yeah, gotta do what I gotta do. So, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye!